Hello and welcome to Stephen Day's 50 Years Ago this month. This time around, we're looking at the Billboard Hot 100 for May 15th, 1976. Steve, what starts us off here?
Well, at the top of the charts, it's the Sylvers Boogie Fever, which we talked about last month, and yeah, the Sylvers.
The Sylvers. So
This,
an incredible story.
it is an incredible story, and hardworking family and all that. But
And
there we
and
go.
and, and,
Yeah,
and the, they're not the one-hit wonder that I thought they were.
no,
So
I think they're two hits.
they
Is that
they
right?
they had a lot of moderate success.
Fair enough. Yeah. Well, so we'll give the Silvers once again their due with Boogie Fever at number one. Okay, at number two, it is a comeback effort of sorts from one John Sebastian. It's the theme to Welcome Back, Cotter's Welcome Back.
Yes, and well, the way this came about is that the TV producer Alan Sachs, who was in charge of that show, wanted a Lovin' Spoonful like theme for the sitcom that he was going to call Cotter.
Mhm.
And so he mentioned this to his agent. His agent happened to represent John Sebastian. So if you want a Lovin' Spoonful like theme, John Sebastian's the guy to deliver it, right?
Yeah, it seems so. Right.
You would think.
Got to
Anyway,
find him first, but yeah.
he was unable to rhyme anything with Cotter except otter. Um, So he decided to go a different way, um, and the producers liked the song and even changed the title of the show to reference the song title, Welcome Back, Cotter. So it wasn't originally Welcome Back, Cotter. It was originally just Cotter.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
anyway, this was from his fourth studio album after leaving Lovin' Spoonful, um, entitled Welcome Back. He wrote the song and produced it along with Steve Barry. A couple words about Barry. Steve Barry had been kind of a big deal in the 60s
Yeah.
as both a songwriter and a producer. He collaborated with P.F. Sloan,
Right.
and they were largely responsible for the success of the Grassroots, including their hits like Let's Live for Today. Um, they also co-produced um, Sloan's song, Eve of Destruction,
Yeah, that's right. The
with
Barry
Barry McGuire. It
McGuire.
was a number one hit for Barry
Yeah.
McGuire. Um, Secret Agent Man
That's
for
a yeah, Johnny
Johnny
Rivers,
Rivers.
right? Yeah.
And after Sloan left Dunhill Records, Barry continued as a producer for the Grassroots into the early 70s. After Dunhill was acquired by ABC Records, Barry stayed on in the 70s as a head of A&R, where he focused on signing and producing new artists such as Bo Donaldson and the Haywoods.
Ah, Billy, don't be a hero.
All right.
Yep.
He collaborated with songwriters Dennis Lambert and Brian Potter on
Oh, that's
three albums for the Four Tops,
yeah.
including "Ain't No Woman Like the One I've Got."
Oh, yeah.
Um,
Wow. Yep.
he produced "Dizzy" by Tommy Roe. He produced Mama Cass uh, in her solo career, and produced Hamilton, Joe Frank, and Reynolds.
Oh, baby, baby,
Don't
falling in
pull your
love.
love.
Don't pull your love out on me, baby.
Don't pull your love.
There
So,
we go.
uh,
So I mean, it's quite a. I mean, that's quite a resume.
right?
I mean,
Yes. Um, in 1975, uh, Barry departed ABC to become A&R chief at Warner Brothers. And while there, he produced Rhythm Heritage's theme from SWAT.
oh, here we go. That's
And in
right.
addition to co-producing with John Sebastian this album and single. So that's the co-producer. Um, the song was released March 1976 on Reprise Records and reached number one on the Billboard Hot 100 only 5 weeks after charting for the first time.
Yeah.
Also topped the adult contemporary chart, and interestingly, also reached number 93 on the country chart.
Well, I don't understand that at all.
Uh,
Uh,
what?
Not even I don't even understand that a little bit.
Not no, right? You just wait a sec. What?
There's
Nothing country
nothing
about it. Nothing
and
country about it.
and certainly nothing country about the show.
Certainly
So,
not. Right? It's
um,
a big city school.
yeah, that's right. The old,
Is
you
it
know,
is it
it's
clear? Is it clear what city we're talking about there? Did they ever
oh, it's one of the boroughs of New York.
New York, right?
And I know somebody who's watching this will put this in the comments
Well, I certainly hope so.
because in fact the opening credit of Welcome Back, Kotter, there is a sign Welcome to, and I cannot think, maybe
Oh,
I cannot think of the borough, but I'm almost certain it's New York City.
all right, all right.
But there was, I mean, I guess part of the success of, we'll talk about the show, but part of the success of the song was just this kind of latent affection for John Sebastian, who I think was one of the voices and faces of the 60s. I think he's kind of a forgotten figure, but I think in this era there was incredible affection for him. And I mean, how's to explain just I mean, this song was, people were happy to hear from him again.
Well, maybe it's a kind of a chicken and egg sort of situation, but the show itself was like an instant ratings success. The
Yeah,
previous
well,
fall,
that was.
it just
Can it, well,
got to the top of with a bullet. So, did the song help the show? The show helped the song? Probably a little bit of
yeah,
both.
probably a little bit of both. I do think that I think it's clear the song would greatly benefit from the phenomenon that the show was. That initial season, you have a whole host of breakout stars. But I mean, Love and Spoonful was an adored band in the 60s. And John Sebastian wrote or co-wrote all of their hits. And they're actually in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Well, yeah,
So, you know,
I think rightly so. Yeah,
so with that, we should maybe just talk. Well, go ahead.
just one little tidbit.
Yeah.
This song is often used by the Atlanta Braves organist when former Braves players are at bat for their current team.
Oh, you know, that's pretty clever.
Isn't that fun?
That's not, that's, that, that, that makes me smile.
Yeah.
There we go.
All right.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, so
Let's listen
it's,
in.
well, hang on just a second. I do want to talk just briefly about the show itself
Oh, okay, sure.
because I
Oh,
do think
yes.
that it's interesting that the show was developed. Talked about the Alan Sachs, James Comax involved in the development, as well as Gabe Kaplan. Gabe Kaplan, right, who was this a stand-up comedian who was on the rise, and I think it was very much considered a kind of star vehicle for him. What happens, I think, though, is that it becomes a star vehicle for John Travolta,
Well,
and
that's
Travolta.
indisputable. Yeah.
Yeah, and so Travolta just becomes well, he is really one of the kind of the face of the 70s, or at least the mid 70s. I mean, this is still pre-Saturday Night Fever. This is pre-Grease. He's Vinnie Barbarino, you know,
Vinnie Barbarino. And
but
if I understand it correctly, Tarantino, when he picked him for Pulp Fiction, he wanted Travolta for Pulp Fiction, and if I remember correctly, because of Barbarino.
yeah, I think
That, looking back at that, not Saturday Night Fever,
oh
no,
that's yeah,
this kid,
he wanted the Barbarino,
the
yeah.
Barbarino Travolta.
And
Yeah.
he kind of gets it actually a little bit in Pulp Fiction. There's a certain, well, certain edge to it. But
You know, I find it surprising. John Travolta actually has a bit of a range as an actor. Um,
oh, I think he's actually, yeah, I think he's actually quite quite talented. And like you
Not
say,
something that you would have guessed watching the show back in the day, but
that is really true. But isn't it interesting how he blossomed then coming out of Welcome Back, Kotter? That really in the span of about 2 years, he is he's kind of the face of Hollywood. Whether it's Saturday Night Fever, whether it's Grease, whether it's Urban Cowboy, right? It's or in these kind of adventurous roles like with Blow Up and whatnot. It's he is a dynamic presence, and he's in Welcome Back, Cotter's the launching pad.
well, it's almost like a Ron Howard, Henry Winkler sort of thing,
Yeah, it is a little bit like that.
where the show is supposed to be a vehicle for the one actor, and it just kind of gets stolen by
And
this other guy.
wow, that's very, yeah, I wonder. I don't know anything about this. I would have to think though that Kaplan would have that there would be some hard feelings regarding this, right? Because Kaplan was this was Kaplan's baby, and that ABC built this show around him and his modest talents. But in the end, Kaplan doesn't,
He
and
watches
this is
as his
it,
co-star just takes off
no
like
question. And it has to be at least bittersweet, but it is interesting that this is, I think you and I both don't. This is not the best television in the 1970s. Welcome Back, Kotter, but it does speak to the power of television in this era, right? Where you're talking.
although Welcome Back, Cotter didn't suck. You know,
Okay,
things like Up Your Nose with a Rubber Hose and Sit on It and things like that. All right. It's not, but it was a decent ensemble. Um,
yeah, there
and
was, yeah, there definitely
it
was
was
talent in the ensemble.
modestly funny, and
I, well, yes, modestly funny. Well, I think that's probably fair, but it's a powerhouse, and it's creating not just television stars but movie stars. And I think I think Travolta was bigger than a movie star at some point in the 70s. I mean, he's one of the most identifiable people on planet Earth there for a while, and it comes from this
well, he was up there with people
ridiculous show.
like Henry Winkler, like the Bee Gees.
Well, yes.
Who else was like Peter Frampton for a couple of years? Yes. So,
That's right. So, well, there we go. So
including
let's,
putting out his own modest hit,
yeah, I think it's inevitable. We
or
will
I think we're going to be talking about it.
we're going to have to be talking about it.
Yeah.
Ugh. We'll have to battle for the short straw on that one. But all
Let
right.
her
So
in? Oh, I'll take it. Let her in.
oh, oh, good. It's yours. So with that, oh man, I'm just, I'm a little bit woozy. Let's listen to John Sebastian and the theme to Welcome Back, Kotter, cleverly entitled
Welcome
"Welcome,
back.
Welcome Back."
Welcome back. Your dreams were your ticket out. Welcome back to that same old place that you laughed about. Well, the names have all changed since you hung around, but those dreams have remained and they've turned around. Who'd have thought they'd lead ya? Who'd have thought they'd lead ya? Back here where we need ya.
Here we go.
Yeah, we tease him a lot, 'cause we got him on the spot. Welcome back.
There we go. Yeah, John Sebastian in his I think kind of John Sebastian's last gasp of relevancy.
Well, yeah, it kind of was.
I think that's right. But so there we go. At number two, then John Sebastian's Welcome Back, Kotter. Well, at number three, I think you've heard of this figure before. It's one Paul McCartney, and the band is Wings. And yeah, McCartney probably rings a
Mhm.
bell.
Yeah.
Uh, Good looking guy, played a lot of bass. It's Silly Love Songs at number three. I don't know. This is say what you will about Wings. They're becoming a hit machine by the time we
Yes,
get to the mid
yes, they
1970s.
are.
And
After a slow start.
after I think, yeah, I think it's right. Quite a slow start. And there is, I think critics of McCartney would suggest that a song like this and several more, even from this album, Wings, the Speed of Sound, are almost cynically pop. But it
You know
has,
what? That sort of thing just drove him nuts. He just
oh, it
had
certainly did.
he had sleepless nights about what critics had to say about stuff like this.
Oh, yeah. Well, he just wanted to be loved. But Silly Love Songs peaks. It's number three this week. It peaks at number one on the pop charts across the world. Really, it pops in the United States. It's also a number one adult contemporary song. It is also in 1976 when there were a lot of big songs, the number one song in the United States according to Billboard. And I think in part it's because I think that the song is. I think it's clever. I think maybe it's a little too clever for its own good, but I
Well,
think
it's kind of an answer to exactly the critics that you're talking about,
oh, I
right?
think I mean,
It's like,
that's right. I mean, it's
who cares?
yeah, it's
People
a
like it.
little,
I like it. I'm going to do it.
but yeah, that's when what's wrong with that?
Wrong with that?
And and so, but I also think it's the band is great. I think that with apologies to the guitar players that McCartney has had in since his days in the Beatles. I think Jim and McCullough is the best guitar player he ever played alongside, save George Harrison. Also, you've got Denny Lane, who I think he's magnificent in the role in Wings as a kind of sideman. You also got Joe English on drums. Of course, Linda McCartney's on keyboards, and they're always getting some help with that. And there's a great horn section on this song and really throughout the album, led by a guy named Howie Casey. Um, Silly Love Songs is a terrific little number. On the album version of the song, there's also a kind of a cappella section, which is actually cut out of the single, but the a cappella section, which is straight sun-drenched harmonies from the Beach Boys. There's just a little bit of everything in Silly Love Songs. It's almost a kind of kitchen sink effort, but it's terrific. And this will be, in fact, the summer of Wings. 1976, Paul McCartney will really dominate the charts throughout the summer, and in part that's because there's a lot of buzz surrounding the band because they're in the United States at this time. So on May
Which
3rd,
will result in
wow,
Wings Over
results in
America, just
yeah,
one of the finest live albums
yeah, that's exactly
ever.
right. The triple live album will come out the next year. It also will result in a movie called Rock Show, which will premiere in 1980. The tour in the United States will last from May 3rd to June 23rd, and it's no, it's packed full of dates. Those couple of months. What's interesting about it is that this is McCartney's first live appearances in the United States since the Candlestick Park farewell show with the Beatles, and there's a real hunger to see him. He rewards fans with each night with a five-song Beatle set, which is depicted in the Rock Show, and you can also hear it on that live album. And it's a kind of an acoustic number. They sit in rocking chairs, and it's really, really good. I think we're really talking about kind of peak McCartney, if you will, that he's matured as a songwriter, he's matured as a musician. He has not lost his voice. His voice is still wonderful. And there's just a certain range and elegance to what he brings to almost every song that's really something. And so I think I think you suggested this. I think there's a lot of pushback when it comes to silly love songs, and people who love McCartney don't necessarily love this song, but by God, a lot of people really went for it. So let's listen to a little bit of Silly Love Songs, which was everywhere in the summer of 76. And one of the things that is clear about McCartney is I think he's one of the world's great bass players. And he's playing lead bass on this song like he did lots of songs on the Beatles. And so Silly Love Songs is
Well,
it's peak
in
McCartney.
in addition, just to being an ungodly multi-instrumentalist, it's like, what doesn't he play?
That's true. No, yeah, I mean, what doesn't he play? I think that's right.
And I think in a number of his solo songs, solo hits, he plays most or all the instruments by himself. I mean, like
He does.
Post
Yeah, that's
Wings.
right. Yeah, yeah. I think that's I mean, obviously he's a gifted
Yeah.
musician, and a talented songwriter. And I think he was trying to, like you say, answer the critics. And I don't know. I guess living well is the best revenge. And so there we go. Number three, silly love songs. Okay, and then number four, this is an odd song for, I mean, probably for any era, but certainly for 1976. At number four, it's Elvin Bishop's "Fooled Around and Fell in Love."
This was from his third studio album, Strut My Stuff. And he wrote the song, but he didn't feel like his voice was the right voice for this. So he brought in singer Mickey Thomas. Fans of Jefferson Starship or Starship
Right.
will recognize Mickey Thomas. Based on his work with Alvin Bishop, Jefferson Starship brought him into the boat.
Yeah, I think
And,
it was pretty quick too, wasn't it? I mean, it
it
was.
was. And also, he sang some of their biggest hits, was
Oh, absolutely.
right? So,
Yeah, I mean, starting with the album 3.0 and whatnot. Yeah, Mickey Thomas became kind of the voice of Starship.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, this was released February 1976 on Capricorn Records, peaked at number three on the the Billboard Hot 100 singles chart, and was certified gold by the Recording Industry Association on June 23rd. In Canada, the song reached 22 on the singles chart, number 8 on the adult contemporary chart. And it made it to number 3 in New Zealand.
There we go. Yeah, I mean it's a huge. I mean it's Elvin Bishop's. Clearly, it's a high watermark, and it's a little bit. I mean, Elvin Bishop, right? Dave was a blues electric blues artist of
BlueSky.
some
Yeah,
note. Yeah,
yeah.
and with real chops. So he didn't have much pop success. And this, I think, the song is a little bit of an outlier in terms of his output. But man, it really was a humongous
Well,
hit,
um,
humongous song.
the producer was a hit maker, and if this is Elvin Bishop's biggest hit, it may be because Bill Zumzik
Well,
was
say
behind the
no
boards.
more, right there. Yeah, I mean, it's the magic that Simzik brought to Joe Walsh and to the Eagles, and yeah,
Yeah.
that's
So
right.
that's a producer with a magic touch. So that might explain why
I
we
think that's
actually
fair.
ended up hearing this wonderful little gem of a song. Let's listen in.
Let's do. Here we go. Fooled Around and Fell in Love from Elvin Bishop featuring one Mickey Thomas on lead vocals.
I must have been through about 1,000,000 girls. I love 'em and I leave 'em alone. I didn't care how much they cried, no sir. Their tears left me cold as a stone. But then I fooled around and fell in love. I fooled around and fell in love. I fooled around and fell in love. Fooled around and fell.
I'm reasonably sure this song was not endorsed by the National Organization for Women, but nevertheless,
Well, you
uh,
know what
a,
else?
a, a big
Since
a
you
big
since you
hit.
mention it,
Oh, well,
Um,
how
this
how
song
could I
was
not?
this song was originally offered to the Osmonds,
Oh,
who
oh,
decided it did
oh,
not quite meet up to their
oh, you are
moral
kidding.
standards. No, I'm not. It's a true story.
Wow.
Wow. So there you go.
Yeah. And I think it's also clear why Mickey Thomas was selected by the Starship, right? That guy that
Yes.
great pipes, quite a range. And so Elvin Bishop, well, a kind of one hit wonder, but what a hit it was.
Right.
At number five, um, well, this okay, so it's Diana Ross's Love Hangover, and of course, Miss Ross, a famous figure in the 1970s, a kind of well, I mean, a person who is really pushing in lots of interesting directions in terms of her career, uh, whether it's on vinyl or whether it's on film. She's getting a lot of support, a lot of backing from the Motown. In fact, I think it's fair to say that almost all of Motown is behind her. And so, Love Hangover is well, it's a massive hit. It's a number one, peaks at number one on the pop charts, number one on the soul charts, number one on the disco charts. What's interesting about this is that Diana Ross was not particularly interested in disco. She wasn't particularly interested in making a dance record. Disco music, she just didn't really see that. Now, what's fascinating is that she will then, of course, once she sort of settles into this, she'll make a number of hits in the 70s and early 80s that are dance numbers, and she will become, I don't know if she'll become a queen of disco, circa, like Donna Summer, but she is, I mean, she is a powerhouse. But this is her first sort of foray into disco, and what a foray it is. The backing band are members of the Crusaders, and namely, you've got a couple of people here James Gadson on drums and one Henry Davis on bass. And we'll hear that cut here in a second. This is considered one of the most influential disco records from the era because of the instrumentation.
Wow.
So not so much what Ross brings to it, but what the Crusaders, particularly Henry Davis on bass, bring to it. It was penned by Mary McLeod and Pam Sawyer. They were essentially kind of staff writers at Motown. So fascinating. Motown, people would get into Motown at a kind of entry level. So, for example, McLeod was a key punch operator in the 60s and kept plugging away, had some ideas, and she eventually
It's
became
funny how many of those stories come out of Motown. That
yeah,
sort of thing.
it's
Yeah.
they hard work and perseverance are rewarded, and I think there was
And being
always
there, just
and
being
being
there day
there.
for day.
I think that that's the key. That and they were content looking, in-house and working in-house. And
Yes.
so, I mean, so McLeod and Sawyer are, classic examples of that. I don't have much more to say about it. We should take a listen to this. We're going to hear the transition part in the song where it moves into the disco beat, and you can just, well, you can, I think, get a sense of why it's considered a kind of quintessential disco number. It really picks up the pace here. Here we go. Love Hangover. Come on. Ah, yeah, the Crusaders there making it happen. So that's Love Hangover from Diana Ross. Frankly, one of her biggest hits, a song that she wasn't particularly excited about making, which we've heard a time or two.
Yes.
All right, so at number six, we talked about Frampton last week. This is that we're entering the age of Frampton. It's Show Me the Way at number six with Peter Frampton from Frampton Comes Alive. At number seven, well, it's a German group. It's Silver Convention, and it's Get Up and Boogie. That's right.
All right.
Uh,
It's one of the very rare songs that ever became a hit where the entire lyrics are found in the title.
Um,
Get up
yeah.
and boogie, that's right. There are no other lyrics to this song. Very similar to Fly Robin Fly,
Yeah, I would say virtually identical. That's right. I mean,
their previous hit. And this comes back to their writers and producers, Sylvester LeVay and Stephen Prager. But they know what they're doing
yeah,
because
it's a strategy. Yeah, yeah.
Silver Convention is, for a group coming out of Munich, they do pretty well internationally. This is from their album, their second album, Get Up and Boogie. And it was released March 1976 on Midland International Records. Does Midland International Records, does that ring a bell with you
Why
at
does
all?
that sound familiar? But I don't know. I'm not going to be able to give you a coherent answer. So go ahead.
Well, in addition to the Silver Convention, they also had a couple of other hits like Doctor's Orders by
Oh,
Carol Douglas
Carol Douglas. Oh, that's a good song.
and Let Her In by John Travolta.
Oh my Lord. Oh,
So
wow. Well played on your part. Yes. How about that?
Get Up and Boogie went to number one in Canada and West Germany. Reached number two on the US Billboard Hot 100. It was kept from the number one spot that it so richly deserved by Wings' Silly Love Songs.
Oh,
It made
so
it to number
richly.
three in Israel.
Hmm. We'll just
Huh,
we'll just we'll just let that sit for a second. Hmm.
okay.
Um,
Billboard
it,
ranked it as the number 24 song for the year.
is it not the case, Dave? And I'm just throwing this your way because I don't really know. I cannot think of a German artist in the 70s that sold more records in the US than Silver Convention.
In the 70s, in the US.
Yeah, I
Boy,
can't think
that's
of it. I can't think. I mean, I recognize it's a relatively, small universe and small sample size, but I can't think of another group that sold more records than Silver Convention. To
it
your point
seems to
about,
be.
about the language and about keeping it simple,
Well, you might actually be right about
I
that.
don't, in fact, I can't think of another German artist that sold more records ever in the US.
Oh, ever?
No, I
Oh yeah.
just, I, well,
Nina?
who would it be?
Nina?
You think
99?
you think Nina Lift Balloons sold more than these two records?
Oh yes.
Okay, all right, fair enough. Okay, so there's
Um,
that.
and if you're talking like Scorpions, they certainly had
They
bigger
certainly
hits.
sold. They never. Yeah, they sold probably. You were probably right. Sold more albums. Um,
Well, they,
Scorpions never
they
had
had they had bigger hits, and
they did not
I'll
have
bet
top
you
10.
on that.
Oh, come on. They couldn't surpass Silver Convention in terms of top 10.
Did they ever have a number one?
I don't think so. I don't think so. Maybe the winds have changed.
Well, okay, they sold more
I
records.
okay,
I think that's
okay,
indisputable.
but certainly in the 70s. I mean, it's such an interesting kind of strategy, and it seems kind of ridiculous, but it really worked. Just having just a kind of this kind of chant moving through
Here,
with those.
here's a little thing. It shocked me. It shocked me. Chris Gow's record guide.
No, no. What?
There were three albums put out by Silver Convention,
Hmm.
and this one got his worst grade,
Oh, well, that doesn't surprise me.
B minus.
Wait a minute. That surprises me.
That was the worst. There was a B and a B plus. He didn't rank any of their albums worse than B minus.
That guy hates everything.
I know, and he just did not hate Silver Convention.
Well, there is okay, so there is they're well crafted out. They're well crafted
Uh,
singles. I think they're well crafted
I
for the
think they're
era.
they're fairly boring. I think they're fairly uninteresting. But I mean,
Well,
even for disco, which uh, is not made to
just a
be,
second. So I'm gonna put my arm around my buddy Robert Christgau here. We're gonna hold firm.
well,
Yeah,
yeah,
okay. I mean,
yeah.
it's not the Bee Gees,
No, it's
but it's
not.
not, but it's not. Yeah, okay. Maybe out on a limb.
All right.
Silver Convention.
Let's listen in.
Let's do Silver Convention. Get Up and Boogie. That's right.
That's right.
Get up and boogie. Get up and boogie.
Little stride piano. Come on.
That's right.
That's
Get up
right.
and boogie. Get
I
up
do not
and
know where you get off saying this is
boogie.
boring. Come on. Oh, a little clavinet. All right. Well,
Oh, yes. Well, yeah.
that's probably enough. But okay. Well, all right. It's all right. It is what it is. Silver Convention. Number.
By the way, just
Please. Yes.
out of left field. What about Kraftwerk?
Yeah. Well, they didn't.
Autobahn might have.
No, he didn't. No, and Autobahn never made the top 10.
Uh,
I just
you can't believe that
Silver Convention, my friend.
Fly Robin Fly, Get Up and Boogie, and their
Those
top
were
10 songs. I just
those were yeah, they were big songs that hung around for a while.
yeah, I
I mean,
guess
to
they
your
did,
point,
but
you start off with it was held back from number one by the biggest song of the year. Otherwise, it would have been, it might have been the song of the summer in '76.
uh,
Imagine, I know it makes you
all right.
uncomfortable.
Yeah, I don't have to be fond of everything that gets on this chart show, but
But okay, well, so there, it does make you wonder. So Silver Convention at the heck number was that? Seven with Get Up and Boogie. At number eight, it's Maxine Nightingale's Right Back Where We Started From, which we
uh,
talked about last month.
yeah,
Fine,
fine
fine
song.
song.
Yeah.
We'll talk about some more songs in a second. But in May of '76, my friends, there's a hot political race, and it's a race. Well, it's a race for the Republican nomination. Um, the sitting president, one Gerald Ford, has a challenger, the upstart from California, Ronald Wilson Reagan. And it is a 100% horse race when it comes to getting the necessary number of delegates. Um, it's an extraordinary moment in May of '76. So this is the cover of Time magazine that lays it all out there. So in May of '76, Reagan, taking advantage of a new winner-take-all circumstance in several of the Republican primaries, won Texas, Alabama, Georgia, and Indiana, sweeping the delegates, and for a moment in May had more delegates than the sitting president.
The incumbent.
Now, the incumbent, that's not supposed to happen. Um,
Well,
uh,
the incumbent isn't supposed to be challenged, period. That's not actually, it's not something you do, but all right.
And in fact, what's really interesting about that, you're absolutely right. It's not supposed to happen. But Reagan was the person who was as fond as anyone of talking about the Ten Commandments, right? And thou shalt not speak ill of another Republican, and that that if it's a Republican, then you just kind of grin and bear it. But yeah, Reagan was anxious to get to the White House. Eventually, here in the month of May, Ford would get back into the lead. When we finally get to Kansas City and the convention in the summer, Gerald Ford has 49% of the delegates, and Ronald Reagan has 48 percent of the delegates. And I think it's, given the bloodbath that was the Republican primary, I don't think it's really any surprise that Ford lost in the fall. But it was quite a moment, and really, I think in modern political history was largely unprecedented. But there you
Well,
have it.
don't you think that come from behind victory uh, at the convention or leading up to the convention?
Yeah.
That's just the political machine, isn't it? Just saying it, we're not going to
Well,
replace our, we're not going to dump our incumbent. We're just not. That's not how we do things. So, um, yeah,
yeah,
part
yeah,
the
I think that that's right.
party bosses.
Party bosses step in and made sure maybe had their thumb on the scales in that regard. Um, I don't think there's any question that Ford was considered a weak candidate. And again, for reasons that we've outlined and I think we've talked about in previous
had had,
episodes.
had never been elected to
Oh,
uh,
right. And
the
and
highest office in the land
and
or vice
damn near
presidency.
didn't get elected to be the party's actual representative. This is really quite extraordinary. And I also, I don't know that Reagan was the inevitability that he would become. He was really considered a kind of upstart, and again, I think he was considered a very much a kind of wild card and a person who was a little unstable. I think there was always a question about Reagan and his predilection regarding the Cold War,
Yeah,
and
but
a little too.
I think
But
The Republicans have a perverse taste for unstable candidates. I think they're drawn to them, the bad boys. Um, and I think Reagan spoke to a lot of Goldwater Republicans who knew you can't
well,
do it. Okay, we can't put a Goldwater candidate up there. We got squashed last time, but a Goldwater light, maybe
yeah, it was. I
maybe
think that
that'll fly.
yeah, definitely kind of Goldwater adjacent, and not just in terms of the attitude toward the Cold War, but also towards social programs and what's different for Reagan is his complete embrace of the religious right. I think that this was something that Goldwater could really barely even stomach.
Oh, he
But
couldn't. No.
but Reagan, and this is I think it gives you some sense of the power of the religious right and the moral majority, which is just taking shape. They almost unseated a sitting president. I mean, it's really it's really something.
Well, right, and they're nascent. They're really in their baby shoes at that point.
No, that's absolutely true. They're just getting warmed up,
They're going to
and
make some big strides in the next 4 years, but at that point,
it's it yeah. So the election again will be a landslide essentially for Carter. But I think the real story of 76, or one of the stories of 76 politically, is the rise of Reagan. And he will, come to dominate American politics, well, for the next decade. I mean, that there's just
Did Carter get some of those people who are going to end up in the moral majority? Did they end up switching parties to cross vote for the
I my
born
my
again
I
Christian?
get again, my guess would be yes. My guess would be yes. Um, because Carter's religious credentials were solid.
And he wore them on his sleeve. I mean, like no other
Yeah.
candidate
Uh,
ever had.
oh, yeah. Before or since. I mean, it's just really, yeah. I think that's right. He was helped, but they certainly abandoned him in 1980 when given the option to vote for Reagan. And so, yeah, it's an interesting moment politically, and it's of course going to be a hot summer of bicentennial excitement. We'll talk more about that in upcoming episodes. At number nine, well, speaking of the power of television, so we talked about Welcome Back, Kotter. At number nine, it's the theme to Happy Days. Oh boy. Theme to Happy Days. It's Pratt and McClain with Brother Love. Okay, so what is this all about? Michael Omartian, who we've mentioned before, is a power player in American music in this era. He has this, it's very interesting. He's able to operate in the world of religious music. He's also able to work in session. In fact, he plays on Steely Dan records.
Wow.
Um,
Okay.
but he helps to organize various session groups. And Brother Love was one such session group. And Brother Love basically made jingles, made commercials. Terrence Pratt and Jerry McClain were kind of the two leaders of Brother Love. They ended up getting access to being offered a song from, well, from songwriters Charles Fox and Norman Gimbel, who we talked about earlier, a few years ago, when we talked about Killing Me Softly. And
Boy,
there's
those
quite
guys
a,
turn up in the strangest
well,
places.
you got that right. You got that right. And so this is an odd circumstance. Happy Days is a song, is a show on ABC, really a hit, a modest hit in its first year. It will become a ratings juggernaut once Fred Silverman joins ABC in 1975, and he supercharges Happy Days by putting a lot more emphasis on one Arthur Fonzarelli, the Henry Winkler character. But the initial year of Happy Days used Bill Haley's "Rock Around the Clock" as the theme, fine song. But how about a song that you could actually then own the rights to and monetize? And so Gimbel and Fox wrote the theme to Happy Days and offered it to Amartya, who then offered it to Pratt and McClain. Now, the theme to Happy Days, if you watch Happy Days then or now on syndication, it's actually sung by the Ron Hinklin singers. And so when you would hear the Happy Days theme on television, it would sound slightly different from the Happy Days theme that you would hear like on the radio or the 45 that you bought. Um, Slightly different. So this is the again the high water mark for Pratt and McClain. They are again once more another one-hit wonder. But this also speaks to the power of television, circa 1976, where you are also you're watching it and you're listening to it. It's just everywhere. And so here we go. It's oh Lord, here we go. It's that theme to Happy Days. Oh, Pratt and McClain with Brother Love.
Monday, happy days. Tuesday, Wednesday, happy days. Thursday, Friday, happy days. Saturday, what a day. Rockin' all week with you. This day is ours. You be mine. This day is ours. Please be mine. Hello, sunshine. Goodbye, rain. She's wearing my school ring on her chain. She's my steady, I'm her man. I'm gonna love her all I can.
Yikes. Okay, so there we go. The Happy Days
I
theme.
loved that theme.
Oh God, Dave.
I thought that was great.
Well, I,
It just set me
I'm
up in a good mood to watch the show.
I'm I'm rarely at a loss for words, but I can't think of anything to I oh my God. It's there, so at number nine, it's Happy Days. All right, so here is at number 10. It's an odd song. Really kind of an odd song with a kind of curious backstory, and we're going to learn more about one Henry Gross. This is Shannon at number 10.
Yeah, from his album Release, the producers were Terry Cashman and Tommy West of
Of Jim
Cash
Croce fame.
West Productions.
Yes.
And this was released in February 1976 on Live Song Records. Went gold in the US, became a worldwide hit, reaching number 6 on the Hot 100, number 5 in the Cashbox Top 100, and number 1 in Canada. It also reached number 1 in New Zealand, but only got up to number 32 in the UK. So, a strange song, strange lyrics.
Yep.
Um,
Yep. Yep.
so what is it about? Everybody seems to know this, but I don't know why, because nothing in the lyrics makes any specific reference to a dog. But that's who Shannon was. It was a
Yeah.
dog.
Well,
Henry Gross, or his girlfriend anyway, had an Irish setter,
yes. It's on
and
the record.
yes, And
But
the song came about because he was visiting his friend Carl Wilson from the Beach
ooh,
Boys
Beach Boys.
and had mentioned the fact, I have a dog named Shannon. And Carl Wilson just got all melancholy on the phone. Yeah, he used to have a dog named Shannon who had
Uh-oh.
recently died,
Uh-oh.
had been run over by a car.
Oh, jeez.
The idea of losing a dear pet was
Well,
what
I,
informed this song.
this is, yeah, I mean, this is, yeah.
Again, from the lyrics, how on earth are you going to? Shannon is gone. I heard she's drifting out to sea. She always loved to sail away.
It, it, there's no hint that this
No,
is
there's no hint.
there's no hint. In fact, there's much to suggest it's something else. So maybe this is a delightful ruse
Well,
on the part of
there
Gross
there
and
there
Mr.
have been
Wilson.
even stranger uh,
Uh-oh.
versions of this story. That Shannon was a dog that they had given to Brian Wilson to get him out of his funk,
Ooh,
and Brian
that
Wilson
makes
would go to the dog with the dog every day to the beach, um, where the dog was eventually carried away by a riptide.
oh good God, Dave.
Well, at least that makes sense with going
Oh
out to
good
sea,
God.
you know.
Oh, well,
But yeah, so these things can get exaggerated really quickly. Oh, just a really funny little side story about Casey Kasem in this song. Have you heard this?
no, I haven't.
Casey Kasem apparently just went on a rampage, just a profanity-laced rampage,
Oh, I think I have heard this.
because his producer had him do a dedication. Somebody who had lost their dog.
Oh, like a long distance. Okay, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
their dog died, and they wanted to dedicate this song. Um, and this was right after, like, I don't know, a Pointer Sisters song, a really upbeat, positive sort of thing. And oh, he's just flipped out. You can't have me do a dedication like this about the death of a
I
pet after coming off of a song like that. It's
will
just
put this, yes, this is
impossible. Some people need to start thinking about what they're doing to me here and stuff like that.
this is a real world famous rant that we'll put in the link to
Yeah,
the show.
I guess we need to now that I've mentioned it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's well, what about what I mean, Gross's backstory is also a little odd, right? Because he played at Woodstock.
As a member of Shanana.
So this is
And
so
I always thought that that was a strange thing that Shanana would be at Woodstock, but okay,
okay,
they
everything
were.
I think that yeah, so everything about Shannon is a little strange. So Shannon, right? Yeah, you mentioned at Woodstock. This is a group of Columbia University students. Save, I think, Henry Gross, who I believe was too young to be in college, although I don't know that for a fact. Gross was the original right lead guitarist for a year or so for the group. He was in the band long enough to play at Woodstock. Um, yeah, Sean and Na's appearance at Woodstock is it seems at best kind of incongruous, but there was a great hunger for 50s music, and it was and they performed it with a real vigor. And there was it was a peculiar group, kind of show band,
Well,
but
it
they
was
threw
living from
everything.
the same nostalgia that made American Graffiti and Happy Days
Yeah, like
such
5 years
well.
earlier. But right, it's there. I think there was something about the 50s that was sort of evergreen to people of this era. And it didn't seem there was something authentic about it. And Sha Na was, in their own sort of way, quite successful. Not only appearances at Woodstock, but they had their own syndicated television show, and they sold a lot of records and they, concert dates and all of that. And Gross was a part of it for a time, but God, it's odd to it's odd to say the least. Um, so I guess we should, whether it's Brian Wilson's dog or Carl Wilson's dog or Henry Gross's dog or a girlfriend, I suppose that we probably should listen to Shannon and get a better sense of Henry Gross's vocal range.
Oh, it's
So
a wonderful song. It's just a very strange song.
that it is.
Shannon is gone, I hope she's drifting off to sea. She always loved to swim away. Maybe she'll find an island where there's shade and trees, just like the one in our backyard.
All right, there we go. Yet another one-hit wonder, Henry Gross with Shannon. Well, let's cherry pick, shall we, a little bit through the rest of the top 40, and we got a couple more songs we want to talk about. At number 11, well, this is certainly no one-hit wonder. It's Barry Manilow's "Trying to Get That Feeling Again." Written by David Pomeranz, who would also write old songs for Manilow. Trying to Get That Feeling Again would peak at number 10, which will make it one of 11 top 10 songs that Barry Manilow will have in this era. It's just sort of one massive song after the next. A kind of unlikely story, as we have outlined a couple of different times. Um, the accompanist for one Bette Midler, who was playing, among other things, bathhouses in urban centers across the United States. He has a breakout hit with Mandy, and then the rest, as they say, is history. This song, like almost all of his songs, was co-produced by one Ron Dante. And Ron Dante, again, one of the famed kind of Zelig-like figures who seems to pop up everywhere. Ron Dante, during the 1960s, was the voice of the Cufflinks' Tracy, which was a top 10 song. And maybe most famously, he was the lead vocalist for the fictional group, the Archies. That's Ron Dante singing
Okay,
Sugar, Sugar.
man. Okay.
So trying to get that feeling again is it's lush, it's a little over the top. It's also, I think, quintessential Manilow. And it is I think you can hear why he was popular in the 70s and why he continues to be a big concert draw even into the 21st century. As we speak, he's trying to heal up from surgery, but he has a massive fan base who have long, well, have just loved him. And so here we go. Let's hear a little bit of trying to get that feeling again from one Barry Manilow.
Time she walked in, and I looked high, low, everywhere I possibly can. But there's no trying to get the feeling again. It seemed to disappear as fast as it came.
Here we go. Schmaltzy, yeah, maybe a smidge. But there was something about Manilow that people found comforting. And so he is one of the big artists of the 1970s. And this is one of his biggest songs, trying to
I
get that
don't
feeling
think he
again.
had any qualms about Schmaltz. I think he just
Yeah,
accepted that as
I think that Dave, I think that's right. And maybe nor should he, right? I mean, I think he kind of leaned into it. It was give the people what they want. And he was never
and few people did it better.
yeah, I think that's right. I mean, he give the people what they want, and what they wanted was Manilow. So, uh,
Feelings. some emotion. Yeah.
That's exactly it. And he could sell it. I mean,
Oh,
he could
absolutely.
sell it. He was despite the fact that he was a kind of awkward stage yeah, kind of an awkward stage presence, there was a certain kind of realness that came across that really people really
Yeah,
connected
he
to.
seemed very authentic. He really did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I mean, we'll talk more about his television specials, which will start to pop up on network TV here starting next year. At 15, we have I think one of the great songs from the Electric Light Orchestra. This is "Strange Magic"
Oh,
from ELO.
yeah.
This is off, of course, their Face the Music LP. Again, the mid 70s is this classic era for the Electric Light Orchestra, where you go from Face the Music to New World Record to Out of the Blue. I mean,
Oh
really,
man,
some of the
there was a period there where they were just an absolute powerhouse. It's just
powerhouse. Yeah, it's just remarkably consistent and with a lot of interesting deep cuts on the albums as well. This song peaks at number 14, but I think it is considered one of Lynn's best works. I think he's a little underappreciated as a craftsman. He has a real touch. There's a real deft touch when it comes to Jeff Lynne's songwriting.
well, you look at
What's
his contemporaries, and they clearly knew what he was bringing to the game, and that's why he ended up in like producing Tom Petty and being one of the traveling Wilburys and so on and so
Sure.
forth.
I mean, you had the distinction of producing that Beatles comeback, right? You know, the so free as of a bird and all that. It's he's the Electric Light Orchestra is fast becoming in the mid 70s a kind of it's becoming Lynn's project. He is the songwriter, he's the vocalist, he's the producer. I mean, he's the principal face of the band. And there is a kind of well, there's certainly a kind of power disparity in the band. The band will lumber along until the mid 1980s, but the seeds of discontent are already being sown as early as the mid 1970s. But that being said,
You know, this is
um,
isn't that a classic story? I mean, how
oh,
often
sure,
have we told this exact story? You have a front man who just defines and identifies who the group is in the end
that's right,
and makes them massively popular, makes them all sorts of money.
that's right.
But
But
yeah,
there's discontent and it's a delicate it's a delicate balance and the band is expansive. You've got to still have a string section. Eventually the Lynn will abandon the string section, but he's still got an actual string section to well, frankly, to appease.
the orchestra, yes.
It's complicated. The record is recorded in Munich at the Musicland Studios of Giorgio Moroder. And the Musicland Studios in the late 70s and early 80s is probably as important a site for music and music creativity as there is on planet Earth. You name it. They recorded there, and the albums were made there. The ELO themselves, Face the Music, Out of the Blue, Discovery, Xanadu, Time. They keep coming back to Munich. Um, Queen famously recorded many of their big albums of the late 70s and early 80s at Musicland. One of the key figures at Musicland was the head engineer, a guy named Reinhold Mack. Musicland had the best of everything, including state-of-the-art equipment. In this period, they were moving to a 48-track recording setup, which was really kind of unheard of. It's um it's in the it was in the basement of the Arabella high-rise building in Munich in the Bogenhausen neighborhood. And you would think, well, I don't know. It is an important place. I mean, is it Abbey Road? Well, maybe not. But is it like, is it kind of a half step or it's Abbey Road-esque. Um, it it's disassembled based upon a rent increase. And so what happened to it? Well, what happened to it was that the rent got too high, and Moroder and gang took the studio apart. A fairly kind of ignominious end to really quite an amazing place. The water water drop effect that we hear with the guitar, which we'll hear in just a second, is created by Lynn and one Richard Tandy running it through a phaser, and so it's a kind of combo effort between guitarist and keyboardist to create a kind of atmospheric sound. So let's listen to a little bit of Strange Magic, which is, I think, really one of the fine moments for Jeff Lynne and ELO.
Your rocky meadows in my mind, making waves across my time. Oh no, oh no, I get a strange magic. Oh, strange magic. Oh, it's so strange magic.
Got it. Strange magic.
There we go. I mean, take it from us. There's a certain amount of genius when it comes to Jeff Lynne, and so Strange Magic, I think, puts that genius on full display. So, last song that we want to talk about is actually the song of the month. At number, Dave, at number 16, it's it's a group that we've heard of, but we haven't talked much about. It's the group called Fleetwood Mac, and the song is called Rhiannon.
Well, we will be talking about them a lot in the coming years. This Rhiannon is I think the first song that I heard
Sure,
where
I think that
Fleetwood
me too.
Mac I became aware of the group. I had never heard them before. Certainly wasn't aware of the blues Fleetwood Mac and
Mhm.
even
The Bob Welch Fleetwood
the
Mac.
so
Various incarnations of the band. Yeah, that's right.
right and so Rhiannon, Will You Ever Win? Written by Stevie Nicks, of course, sung by Stevie Nicks, lead singer here. This was the first hit from the eponymous debut album of the Buckingham Nicks Fleetwood Mac,
Right.
and it kind of put them it put them in the charts, obviously, and it
Yeah.
kind of got attention for this pilot project. One of the things that contributed to this, almost assuredly, was the fact that it was produced by Keith Olsen.
Yeah, I think it's a hugely influential figure. Yeah, Olsen.
Olsen worked with Ozzy Osbourne, Grateful Dead, Whitesnake, Pat Benatar, Heart, Santana, Foreigner, Scorpions, Journey, The Babies, Emerson, Lake Palmer, Joe Walsh, 38 Special, Eric Burden, and so on.
Yeah.
The biggest names
Well, right.
all were working with Keith Olsen. He produced over 100 complete albums, and his production work earned him more than 39 gold, 24 platinum, and 14 multi-platinum album
Yeah,
certifications.
I think he's in the conversation for one of the most influential record producers of all time, certainly of the late 20th century. And to add to that, Dave, he's also the person, right, who was involved in that Buckingham Nicks project,
Yes, um,
which is,
which opened the door for
which is the
them.
big bang, which is kind of the big bang of Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. The song was released February 1976 in the US and April 1976 in the UK on Reprise Records. And it peaked at number 11 in the US. And I think we're both a little bit surprised by that, right?
I mean, I am. In fact, I recall doing the research for this, thinking that that must not be right. That there was something, that I had missed something because this has to have been a top five song, right? This
Yeah,
has to have been. But in
it,
fact,
it didn't
it
it,
wasn't.
it didn't break the top 10.
Didn't break the top 10.
It just seemed
Well,
at the time like it was a very big hit.
totally agree, Dave. I think maybe it's in part because this Fleetwood Mac is new. And I mean, had Rhiannon come a little bit later down the road, I think it would have easily jumped into the top 10, easily jumped into the top five, I think easily become a number one song. But this is
If it had been on
still,
Rumors.
Yeah,
for
well, I
instance.
think yeah, for example, right. But this is people are still, becoming accustomed to this to this band. Um
And the Stevie Nicks vocals
yes, our
were
yeah,
were unusual. It
I
was
think that's
not your
fair.
run-of-the-mill sort
I
of thing.
think
It was
that's
just
fair.
the sort of
Yeah,
thing where you think, what? What? That's interesting.
I think that's
So,
right.
um, yeah, Rhiannon just squeaked into the 500 greatest songs of all time on the Rolling Stone magazine's list.
Just also a
Um,
little surprising, but
488 of the top 500.
well,
Um, and they ranked the song number six on their list of Fleetwood Mac 50 greatest songs.
hmm,
So,
hmm,
yeah, maybe, I could.
hmm. Is that right?
Oh,
Feels a little low, doesn't it? A little low.
where would you place it?
Well, it's
Not,
certainly
not,
the
not,
best. It's
not
certainly the
top
best.
six?
It's certainly the best Stevie Nicks song during her tenure in Fleetwood Mac.
Oh, come on.
I don't think it's even. I don't think there's anything. I don't think it's even close.
All right.
But yeah, it's surprised. I think I think that's low. I think this is G. I mean, I'm not the world's biggest Stevie Nicks fan. I don't even think she's the best. Well, I think she's the third best writer in the band. But it's a it's a fine song. It's a fine song, and it's the song that solidifies. I mean, it's her image, right? This is.
Well, that's absolutely
I mean,
right.
this is iconic.
This is how she perceives herself. This is the way the
All
image
that.
she
Oh
wants to
yeah.
project.
Oh, for decades.
Absolutely, yeah. Stevie Nicks uh, sees herself as Rhiannon.
I mean, and so with that, I just think it's. I mean, I just think it's significant in the context of. So I just think it's low. I just think it's low.
All right,
Yeah. All right.
let's listen in.
Let's do. Here we go. Rhiannon from Fleetwood Mac. Stevie Witnick's high water mark in Fleetwood Mac, as far as I'm concerned, at least. Here we go.
Piano rings like a bell through the night, and wouldn't she love to love her? Takes to the sky like a bird in flight, and who will be her lover? While your life you've never seen a woman taken by the wind. Would you stay if she promised you heaven? Will you ever win?
There we go. Stevie Nicks, Rhiannon, Fleetwood Mac, and my God, Keith Olsen knew what the hell he was doing. That song still sounds great all these decades later. So, well, I think that's it from mid-May of 1976. So, Dave, why don't you take us home?
Sure. If you enjoyed this episode, we hope you did. Give us a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, you can do that right here. If you'd like to listen to another 50 years ago this month, here's one right there. And as always, you'll want to be sure to check out our playlist. It's full of the great music we've just been talking about. You can find
Yeah, and
it right
there
here.
we go. And we may even include then that Casey Kasem outburst, which
It's
is quite infamous. Also, keep in mind that we include a reading list each month where we explore some of the historical episodes and various things that we talk about apart from music, including production facilities like Musicland in Munich and, producers like Keith Olsen. Also, keep in mind that we're on BlueSky. BlueSky, where the cool kids hang out. We post new content every day on BlueSky. And so, well, until next time, we'll see you soon.
bye-bye.